Hey everyone, my name is Daniel Naiman, and I'm an associate editor on the poetry side of things. And I met Tony back in October, which was pretty cool at the Texas Book Festival. I had just moved back to Texas, and I'm still enjoying my first year back. I'm a native Houstonian, but I spent some time in New York, which was pretty awesome and amazing, and sort of dabbling with the literary scene over there and running around to various events and networking, and sort of building and busting chops and sort of finding myself as a poet and writer in general. So coming back to Texas, I wanted to get back into the literary scene because it's changed since I left, and I just wanted to see where we are all at, how it's grown, how it's progressed, and met Tony. And he offered me a chance to grow as an associate editor, and I've been doing a lot of reading. That's really what I do. I just read a lot, mostly for the chapbook competition. It's been really an eye-opening experience. I mean, anytime you're faced with different perspectives and different voices, it's really a great opportunity to see how readers write. And I think that's really the big takeaway, is the how. Because, you know, people, at least from my experience, it's sort of like music, right? You can talk about heartbreak, you can talk about loss, you can talk about gains, growth, etc. All these common themes and topics, but it's really the how the author takes these themes and really gives a unique perspective and variance. So it's been a great sort of seeing that and handling that and sort of transforming that into my own writing, and how I sort of take a piece and transform that or give it my own spin, and it's just great. And it's also just great to be back in Texas. I mean, come on. I won't get too much into why I left. It's just great to be back, and I miss Texas, and Tony has given me a great opportunity, and just networking with various authors, people, publishers, and looking to continue that, to extend my first year and continue growing. So it's great to see you all here, and just really quick for Malvern. Malvern has quickly become one of my favorite bookstores, because you can imagine in New York, you're exposed to a lot of different independent presses, small presses, and the authors that go with them. Coming here, at least Malvern was recommended at least once by some publishers that I knew in New York, and they carry a lot of the presses, and they just carry a lot of small presses in general. So it's great to see that, great to show support, and it's great to know that these small presses exist in other locations besides New York. So I just want to give that shout out to Malvern. And is Benjamin Nash here? All right, cool. So I'm going to introduce Benjamin Nash, and this is going to be a very informal and unique introduction. He has a poem in the journal, which is great, and I believe you're going to read that. So I didn't have much to go on with your bio, so I did what I don't classify myself as a millennial, but I recently found out within the week that I do classify as one, which I don't know how I feel about that. Very mixed feelings. But I did what any millennial, and I suppose anybody would do, is I performed a Google search. And there are a ton of Benjamin Nashes out there in the world. So I did Benjamin Nash poet, I did Benjamin Nash writer, and I found credentials. I don't know if they are yours. But I will say, congrats. And that's amazing. And I'm sure you can do a better job than that. And I will now introduce Benjamin Nash, who will read the amazing poem in the journal, which I did read, and it was great. Benjamin Nash, everybody.
I was a real bad horn player, so this is what this is about. Poem is baritone. There's a bull with a ring in its nose in my baritone, a whooping crane, a barking dog, a black case. It is heavy and it is a long walk to the bus stop. I can hear the owl, a freight train on the horn, and the cars hitting together. I can also hear the morning sounds of the newspaper hitting the front door. My father creaking open the oven door to put in the biscuits. My mother gargling, and the garbage can slammed down. A boy, a bear, a a tug and a foghorn and a dented baritone, and here comes the bus, bright as a yellow light bulb next to the gas station. And I have a couple other ones. This poem is Door. It's going to be in Visions International here sometime this year. Door. Hummingbird hammering on the glass in the dark garage. Each heartbeat hard to do now. Each beat a heave, like the old industrial fan my grandmother had in the back room. Each blade turn in effort, working the hot air out. So in yellow stars, sunburst, and I open the door, hoping, hurry. There's not much time. You need to leave now. Find the sun like the one in that old quilt. More and more heavy you are. And I think this might be what it is like to be in the hospital, about to die. I'm yelling help, and my grandmother, someone opens the door for me. And I've got one more. This is 1930s during the Depression. My parents' family lived in Carlsbad, New Mexico for a couple of years. This is the cotton pickers. Flies, dust, the cotton pickers are children, and they see white in the sun, their faces everywhere, on their bare feet, the long stretch of the bag, the dog watching for rattlesnakes, a Gila monster, in the salt of their sweat and in the clouds. They see water in the rain that doesn't fall, a mirage, in a mason jar in the shade, a cactus, and in the cotton that will pay for their new shoes, a new dress, the rent, food, and a chance for the cotton pickers to go back to school. So that's all.